Hey guys, and welcome to week 2 of the Book Junkie Trials reading vlog, and I haven't read anything yet despite the fact it's the middle of the day on Monday because I am A, lazy, and B, I have been running around sorting things out and editing vlogs and all the rest of it, but I still have to take all the rest of the photos I want to take throughout the rest of the month to post on Instagram for the July of Stranger Things Bookstagram challenge, and then I want to start Down Among the Sticks and Bones because I obviously need to read this for the Outlaw prompts because this is my stolen book. And then I've also decided that I'm not going to try and finish the Outlaw prompts this week. And that's because next week is middle grade magic. And Skullduggery Pleasant, The Dying of the Light is actually a middle grade book, technically. I mean, the main character is 18 and the rest of the characters are over 300 years old. But the book started as middle grade. They're still in the middle grade section at Waterstones. I'm counting them as middle grade because they're also listed on Goodreads as middle grade. So I'm pretty sure they are middle grade. So I want to read that next week along with, obviously, Artemis Fowl and Nevermore. But that does mean that I also can't read A Colour of Magic because that's my 5th book for the Book Junkie Trials Outlaw prompts, which means I'm going to have to read that during middle grade magic. And The Colour of Magic is not in any way, shape or form a middle grade book, but I'm going for it because it's only short and obviously it's full of reasonable whimsy, I guess, but either way I'm still going to read that during middle grade magic and finish off the official trials next week for the Outlaws. But this week it's all about reading more the adult and YA books on my list. So Down Among the Sticks and Bones is going to get read this week along with Nevernight and hopefully the graphic novel The Boys as well, because the TV show comes out on the first day of Yelk, which means I can't actually watch it that day, but I will be watching it in Yelk recovery mode on the Sunday. So I want to get the comic book read, obviously, before I see the show, and I didn't really want to read something that violent during middle grade magic, so that's also being read this week, along with possibly my other Legion comic. So it's a busy week this week in terms of reading. I'm also seeing Spider-Man again tomorrow because I'm obsessed, but there we go. So I need to get on, take these photos, start a read on this, so then I'm ready for the rest of the week because I've got to read this, 2 comics, Nevernight. Let's get going. I've also just remembered that I've also got to write something as well today because it's Camp Nano. Oh, I'm not getting any reading done today whatsoever, I'm telling you that now. Wednesday, and yesterday I managed to read Down Among the Sticks and Bones and really enjoyed myself. Actually, I absolutely loved reading more about Jack and Jill and everything that they went through as kids and what they went through also in the other world and the vampires and the casual slight terror the whole way through this while also still feeling quite fairy tale-esque was beautiful. I absolutely loved this book and I gave it 4 stars. There were a couple of things that I feel like could have maybe have been explained more or gone into a bit more, but that's just my need for detail. But I still really enjoyed this one. And then my plan was to go on to Nevernight. But last night I went to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning and I got up again at 5:30, so I've had 4 hours sleep. I am absolutely knackered, and I know that if I try and stare at any sort of page in this and try to read, I'm going to drop right off, even though I really enjoy this. So I've come up with a different plan. Instead, today, I'm going to be reading the last of my comics from my list. That's right, I'm going to be reading Legion number 2, and I'm also going to be reading The Boys, and I've also added Avengers vs. X-Men also to this list because I remember that this takes place, at least in part, on the beach and in the sea during battle scenes, which means I can count this for Pirate Cove. And also, I was wanting to read this anyway because this is obviously the last comic I was meant to read last month, but didn't. That rounds off the whole House of M storyline, and it also ties into the Legion comic I am currently reading. So, I'm going to read this now as well, because while it's quite thick, it is still a comic book, and I feel like the pictures and all of that are going to keep me more awake than trying to read a traditional book. So, that is my plan. I've got 3 comics to read today and 3 more prompts to get through, and that means I'm going to have to try and finish Nevernight over Thursday and Friday and possibly Saturday, but I'm still excited. I'm going to get through a few more prompts. I'm reaching 1 more prompt than I thought I was going to this month, and quite frankly, I'm quite happy about it, so can't wait to get stuck in. Of AVX will always, without doubt, make me feel emotional. Just how it loops round back to the No More Mutants thing, but instead it's No More Phoenix, and the mutants are reborn, and and like Cap's rebuilding the uncanny X-Men, and it just it hits me so badly in the feelings, and that's without even the fact that Charles is dead. I love this series so much. I genuinely do. And I can't wait to read more spin-offs, because I've already got 2 volumes of the Legion spin-off, which obviously I've already read the first one too. But there's like New Mutants and a whole load of others that I want to read as well. And I just don't have the money at the moment. But I love this series more than words can say. I just love this entire comic event so much. It makes me so emotional to read, and if I ever see it on the big screen in a Marvel movie, I think I'll just sob the whole way through, genuinely. As long as the X-Men are cast right, I'll probably sob the whole way through. I just managed to finish Legion 2 Evasive Exotics and really enjoyed myself again, actually, because I just really like Legion as a character, to be honest. I find him really fascinating. And what I really love about this series is seeing what he thinks about the X-Men and how he interacts with the X-Men and how the X-Men interact with him and what they think about him when he's not there and stuff like that. I find all of that so damn fascinating, because obviously all I've seen of Legion is in the TV show, where I haven't even seen him meet Charles yet, because I'm a week behind because of the America-Britain time difference. But I've never seen him interact with an actual X-Men character or anything like that, so I find it really interesting to see how he is in the actual universe. And I just genuinely really love the series, and seeing how David's ideology is similar to Charles, but it's still so different, and that David is such a product of his childhood and everything. I'm absolutely loving this, and having the Red Skull turn up and stuff like that, absolutely love it. 4-star read, brilliant. And there's another one ticked off the list. It is specifically if you give me 2 seconds to look it up, the Empty Barrel Inn prompt is now done, along with Old Pirate Road. So now the only prompt I've got left to read is Orc Grove before I kickstart into my middle grade magic TBR to actually finish the outlaw prompts and everything else. So I'm doing quite well here. I'm quite happy about this. Actually, no, tell a lie, I've also got Nevernight. I'm forgetting about Nevernight, which is the Elven Guard prompt. But still, I'm getting there. I've got about a day and a half to read a 400-page book, so God knows how I'm going to do that, but there we go. I'm still quite happy with my progress right now. It's going quite well. I'm quite happy. So it's now Thursday, and I did manage to obviously read the second volume of Legion yesterday and AVX, which I'm quite happy about, but that does mean I have Nevernight and The Boys left to go. It's now Thursday. I want all of this done by Saturday at the latest. It's midday on Thursday at the moment, and I have only got half of today and half of tomorrow, maybe the full of tomorrow, to try and get this book read, along with The Boys. It's 461 pages, which means I need to read 231 pages on each day, and The Boys in, 48 hours. And I don't think I'm going to make it, quite frankly. I'm going to try, but I don't think I'm going to make it. And I have to, because otherwise I'm going to be reading these during middle grade magic, and I don't want to do that, because middle grade magic is slightly more innocent, shall I say, compared to Nevernight and The Boys. So I need to get this done, otherwise I'm going to feel really weird reading these during the middle grade readathon, which is all about, well, it's about breaking down, obviously, stereotypes to do with middle grade books, but it's still not going to have, as much violence and sex as this and The Boys is going to. So I need to pull my finger out, so wish me luck. Interesting about reading Nevernight for the second time round is the little bits at the bottom, the footnotes. That's the word, footnotes. I'm still tired from yesterday, even though I got 9 hours sleep. I'm finding the footnotes really interesting because I couldn't read them last time I read this book because I was reading it on Kindle, which made reading footnotes practically impossible. So in reading this, where the footnotes are actually on the page, I'm finding it really quite interesting, and they're surprisingly funny for such a dark book, I guess, and I'm really enjoying that about this at the moment. So it's now Friday, and I have got at least 330 more pages to go of Nevernight, and it's looking likely that I'm not going to have that much time to finish this today or tomorrow, so if I don't finish it tomorrow, I'm going to have to leave it till after middle grade magic to actually finish this, and that probably means I'm going to have to wait till the 30th and 31st of this month, or the 29th and the 3rd. The last 2 days of the month, basically. The last 2 days of July is going to have to be finishing off Nevernight, because obviously middle grade magic starts on Sunday, and I want to read all the middle grade books and obviously finish the outlaw prompts. So I think I've learnt my lesson on not finishing the outlaw prompts first. So when I do this next year, I'm going to finish the outlaw prompts first, then go through the rest of them, because then it doesn't really matter that much, I guess. But I really need to get this done, but I've also got all my pre-Yalk reading that I need to get done as well, and it's a bit stressful, so I'm just going to have to try and really focus on finishing this, because otherwise I am screwed. So it's now Saturday, and yesterday, which was Friday, I managed to read a grand total of 30 pages. That was it. 30. I wanted to get to page 200, I got to page 144. Why? Honestly, what has been with this month being so busy, because it doesn't even improve for the last 2 weeks of the month anyway, because next week I've got 3.5 days to read Dying of the Light and obviously The Colour of Magic to complete the Outlaw prompts. And the week after, I've got 3.5 to 4 days to read everything, and then I've got obviously the 2 days after Yauk, but I'm probably going to be too exhausted to do anything after Yauk to do anything. And I'm just stressed. To say that I am stressed is an understatement, because I've got to try and read as many books as physically possible, because obviously I need to finish the Outlaw prompts, I also need to finish Nevernight, I need to read The Boys as well, and I want to do middle grade magic properly, and at least read Artemis Fowl, if not Nevermore, which I'm totally not going to get to at this rate. And I've also got to do a presentation for my business group. I've got to physically make that presentation in the next couple of days. And I've also got Camp Nano to do, and I've got about 6,000 words more to do for Camp Nano. And I'm stressed, I've got no time, and I need sleep at some point, and I'm stressed. I'm very, very, very stressed, and I'm telling you now, retail therapy is going to be a thing at Yauk, like it was anyway, because this past couple of years have sucked, so I was just gonna buy everything in sight, because I need retail therapy, and when I get stressed, I buy things, but I'm so stressed right now. It's unbelievable. So my plan is to write something now and make a start on this presentation. Then tomorrow, which is Sunday, technically the first day of middle grade magic, I'm going to try and read as much of Nevernight as physically possible. Then I'm going to put it down for a little while until after Yauk, finish it off after Yauk. Then on Monday, instead, I'm going to officially kick off middle grade magic with Skullduggery Pleasant, The Dying of the Light, try and finish that in 3 days, if not 2, and then try and get through The Colour of Magic. And at some point I've also got to do my job in the middle of all of this, so this is going to be really good fun. But I've got stuff to do. I'm going to try and get it all done. If I lose my mind in the process, my fault for putting too much on myself. But who knows, I may surprise myself, and I probably won't. I'm not going to lie, I'm probably not going to surprise myself here, but I'm going to give it a try. That for this presentation, because obviously it's all about social media, I'm doing a bit of a terminology busting thing here, and I've got to explain what a meme is. So I'm literally using the "One does not simply walk to Mordor," and I'm also using a couple from Good Omens, and if I can fit it in, David Tennant in places he shouldn't be, because if I'm going to do a presentation about social media, I am totally bringing in the fandom in this. I've also got to do something about GIFs and explain what a GIF is, or a GIF or a GIF is. I call it a GIF because it's right in the middle, the letters are right there, I can't be wrong. So, I've got to look up GIFs, and I'm going to use a GIF of Benedict Cumberbatch as Sherlock, because why not? And also, it makes this much more fun. My life, so difficult, looking up GIFs for actual work. It's now Monday, so I should probably wrap up this weekly reading vlog, and it's safe to say I have not finished Nevernight. I wanted to spend the entirety of Sunday sitting down and reading it, and I read precisely nothing. I didn't even look at it, so that's fine. Not really. It sucks, but anyway, what I did manage to read was Down Among the Sticks and Bones, Legion #2, and also AVX, which is Avengers vs. X-Men, and I got 144 pages into Nevernight, so it's not been that bad of a reading week, but it could have been better. And this now means that I have completed the prompts Empty Barrel in Old Pirate Road for the Book Junkie Trials. The only other thing I have managed to do is read my stolen book, which was in place of the Queendom Stone choice, which was Shadow King Rising, so I'm not doing too badly at the moment. I've still got to complete the prompts for the Outlaws, but I'm getting there. But I'm now going to wrap this up here so I can actually, you know, edit this video and get it uploading, and then obviously start all the rest of my Outlaw prompts to, you know, finally complete the readathon. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below with what you read this week. I'd love to know. I'll also leave a link down below to all of my social media if you want to check it out. If you want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time, guys, bye!